So I just watched Crazy Rich Asians, and it was boring. Now, I didn't really know anything about this movie other than that it's doing well in theaters, but I had a friend that really wanted to see it, so I figured, why not? Fuck it. Couldn't say I was really excited at all given the director John Chu's history. It wasn't very far into the movie that I realized that this was simply not for me. Partially because I'm not a mom, and also because I'm not really a fan of these types of romantic comedies. Personally, I feel as though a film needs to offer something more than manipulative fantasy roleplay. I recently watched Punch Drunk Love, and that's one of very few films that I could call a romantic comedy that I could also enjoy. As for this movie, it really just does not have that much to offer. It's just a really cheesy movie where they're constantly glorifying this idea of being super rich. It felt like I was watching one giant lottery ad. Man, don't you want to be super rich? Look at how much fun these super rich people are having. They're so cool. Don't you just love this guy who's super rich but doesn't flaunt it? He really loves me for who I truly am. This is basically in the same vein as Twilight, except I guess for an older audience. It's not really as serviceable as a film as it is just a fan fiction. I swear to God, they put makeup shadow on the crevices of the guy's abs. Quite a few shots of fit, attractive male torsos in this movie, which isn't really a bad thing, but it's almost like they don't even really acknowledge that that's what they're doing. I feel like that kind of thing was even more self-aware in The Meg. The music in this film is just god-awful. The score that plays when they do the big reveal shot of the super mansion is just so gross. There's this constant tone and implication that this is what you're supposed to want in your life, and they don't really let you interpret things for yourself in any way. The music in the film made me feel as though I was watching one gigantic trailer. It was all basically just stock trailer music, complete with cheesy crescendoing cymbal cues. The movie was competently shot for the most part, I guess. There was one shot that I really liked near the beginning of the film of a woman in a phone booth out in the rain, but aside from that, it was pretty bland and uninspired. There was no attempt at realism, it all just felt really cheesy and fake. The humor in this movie did not click with me at all. There were many attempts at comedy, but none of them were funny. There was barely any conflict between the two main characters. There just really wasn't anything that I appreciate about filmmaking to be found in this movie, which is to be expected for a John Chu film. The whole movie was just insanely repetitive and seemed to drag on forever. Everything was predictable and it was difficult to care about anything going on. It felt like I was watching a much worse version of a Luca Guadagnino film. His films like I Am Love and Call Me By Your Name involve plenty of glamorous fantasy escapism, but those movies are incredibly well shot and well acted. They have compelling and relatable characters and they have fantastic music to go along with them. Whereas this movie relies completely on the audience to wish that they were the main character and have some super rich attractive dude sweep them off their feet. Unless you really enjoy the comedy in this film, it doesn't really have much to offer other than that. It's a soulless factory movie made to appeal to people who want to pat themselves on the back for watching a movie without white people in it, but also don't want to watch a movie with subtitles. I guess what kind of irks me is that there's countless Asian films out there that are masterfully created, but American audiences generally just don't pay attention to those. Representation in Hollywood wouldn't even be an issue if people just gave a shit about foreign language cinema. Still, I guess this is a good thing because it appeals to a very specific crowd of people who want to watch this type of garbage movie, and with its financial success, this likely opens up a lot of new opportunities for Asian actors working in Hollywood. I'm a big fan of having more choices out there for the types of films that people can watch, so hopefully following this we can get some good movies along those lines. I just personally don't feel as though the politics surrounding this film is reason enough to call it a good movie in of itself. In terms of actual filmmaking, this is just like any other shitty factory Hollywood movie directed by John Chu. Check this one out if you want. Like I said, I am definitely not the target demographic for this movie. If this looks like your kind of thing, then you can probably enjoy it, but I thought it was pretty boring and unspecial, and I'm giving this one a 4 out of 10, I guess.